And welcome back. I am Shiko Kaitani, and like I said earlier on, we are going to be interrupting our normal programming to catch up with one very unique artist known as Swagger De Don, who is all the way from the Caribbean to the wild, and of course, definitely placing his roots from the motherland Africa. And he'll be telling us a little bit about his music and where he's off to, why he actually, has a particular style and this genre in specific, and why he calls himself the African Avatar. So much to learn from this artist. Let's hear from him. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right, so I want to do like a background introduction here a little bit.
Yes.
And understand, first of all, why do you call yourself the African Avatar? Maybe that would actually help us understand why you've kept your mask on.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
The African Avatar is a link with our African ancestors. And a lot of messages come to the African Avatar to deliver to the continent.
Right.
And music is one of the mediums. Music is definitely one of the mediums. We have messages that a lot of African artists of note, going back from Fela to Manu Dibango, etc. They carry the music of Africa, But now the unity of the continent is required, and music is one of the unifying forces for the continent, and a medium that you can use for messages. Yes.
I was just looking at your bio, and it said something very interesting here, and I want to engage you on this. You say, rather it says, meet the man who hears from the African ancestors.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's palindromic. If you look at the numbers here, right, it's all palindromic. 01, 01, 01, 2020, 02, 2020, 10, 10, 10, 10, 20. That was last year. And the African ancestors gave me those numbers and asked me to use them as part of a cosmic delivery with anything I do musically, and that's what I'm doing.
How did you get to this awakening? How did you discover that it is the ancestors actually inspiring your writing and, how you, carry out your message, so to speak?
Well, I had a near-death experience.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And through that, they came to me, brought me back to life, and I am actually 2 years almost with that experience. And that near-death experience gave me a link to our ancestors. Although it's been there before, and I've been utilizing, the messages, etc. It came into sharp focus then. Yes.
All right. So what really would you say then our ancestors or our people from the continent of Africa really crying out about? What do they want to see? Unity. Well,
that's the main thing. They want to see the renaissance of the continent. They want to see a uniting of the country, the continent we call Africa. They want to see, people respecting us around the world as a people. And they are asking for leadership, good governance. These are things that are missing for us to take our rightful place in the World Committee of Nations.
Well, some people would probably mistake you for an activist rather than an artist. What do you have to say to that?
Both. Because if you look at some of the artists of the world, they are activists in their own right, because some of them, they carry messages, and those messages, can change the way and the outlook of life with any nation. And you've had a lot of artists who have had influences. The Beatles, for example, if you remember that one of the Beatles was shot, John Lennon. He was an activist, although he was a great artist, although the group was a great artist, but he singularly came out, and that's what he did. If you look at Fela, Fela played great music and influenced Afrobeat, but he was also an activist. And that's why I was saying that the music, is a message medium. And you cannot deny having the two. And if you recognize that, you know, you utilize it for the best that you can. Yeah.
Dawn, do you fear that you have an uphill task ahead of you? I mean, when you look at the people you've mentioned, look at leaders like Gaddafi who are crying for change and almost, you know, have their message, their passion, everything that they lived for cut short. Do you fear the same for you? That
no, no. Having had a near-death experience, I know what it's like.
Right.
So for me, it's about carrying out the vision of our ancestors. It's about continuing the journey.
Right.
The fear does not exist. If you know my background, you probably know I don't have fear.
Right.
But the issue is that if you are divinely, cosmically, spiritually set, you are protected.
Right.
And your journey, you don't have any determination of it.
Yeah.
With my near-death experience, my journey, which I thought was cut short, I had 2 minutes to live. And our ancestors came to me and said, you're going to live. And one of the first things I said, well, two things I said. One, who's going to look after my daughter? And the second thing was, my work on earth is not yet finished.
Right.
That's when I came out of my near-death experience. So I have no fear.
You have no fear.
Yeah.
How do you manage to relate to a group of youth, or the youth in particular, who have, first of all, become so fatigued, exhausted with what they see around them, the corruption, the lack of unity across African countries, you know, just their communities. And because of this, young people tend to just want to express themselves differently. Most people would say, oh, okay, young people don't really have any focus. And so here you come with all this conscience music, and you've got a group of people who really just don't want to be troubled by what they, you know, what they're dealing with every single day.
Well,
how do you relate with them?
The youth are frustrated on the continent. 70% of the youth of Africa, right, are, you know, the continent has 70% youth.
Yeah.
They need guidance. They need mentoring. They need direction.
Right.
They need focus, and they need good examples.
Right.
That's one of the things that is missing and lacking. Good leadership, good governance.
Right.
It's important for the youth to be empowered, you know, to be motivated, and also to have inspiration.
Right.
So they need focuses of inspiration. You know, your own Kenyan Pierre Lumumba is one of those who are inspiring the youths of today. And we have several leaders like that. These are the people that, should we have a continent of Africa, you know, as one, could be a president, you know, like you have in the United States, and why not? You know?
And for you, how do you ensure that your music, you know, is louder than all the clutter we're hearing from the kind of hip hop and the dance hall music that we're hearing, and all of it is centered, it's party entertainment centered, okay? And that's the focus of the message. It's money, it's drugs, it's sex. How do you amplify your music through all of this kind of genres?
We can sing about love, we can sing about entertainment, but we do it in an African way. You know, all African music has had its roots, or all music, I would say, has had its roots in Africa. If you look at blues, if you look at jazz, if you look at gospel, if you look at Afro-spiritual, Negro spiritual, you look at reggae, you look at soca, you know, all of these music came out of the roots of Africa. And therefore, instead of having, as you said, the same old, everybody does the same type of video, throwing money in the air, you know, drinking champagne, drugs, etc. You can still have all that fun, but in an African way, promote African culture. I mean, look, for example, this. was done by a Kenyan. Yes.
It's actually pretty nice. I do like it.
His name is Amos Onyango.
Yeah.
Afric Lowy is the name of the company.
Okay.
Yeah. And it shows that we have talent. This is a young man of 20-something. And if they are not given the opportunity, you know, and we don't display our culture, which is our clothes, our music, our way of life, you know, we are, as a people, we're very musical. Look at the way we walk, look at the way we dress, look at you, for example. You know, it's all African, your hairstyle, nothing false about, you know, you. This is what we have to portray, this is what we should be selling to the rest of the world. It's not about, you know, selling what we see the Americans doing, and which is what some of the media like to promote. Right, as opposed to... that's why we must have our own narrative. Okay. We must sing and also have our own media narrative like we are doing now.
I like that. Almost the same way UB40 said, we must sing our own songs.
We must sing our own songs, exactly.
All right, so tell us about your song, African Township, because we really want to share that with our viewers. Oh, okay.
Well, African Township is a typical example of what happens in the townships of Africa. If you look at the daily life of any African individual, you'll see people walking with things on their heads, you'll see fun, you'll see dancing. It's about how do Africans behave in a township. The life of a township, it captures everything. The musicality, the fun, the love, you know, the hard work, the spirituality, all of that is clips inside the video. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Brother Director, let's see if we can actually play a snippet of that particular track.
Arises in Mother Africa. Arise, Swagadon, the spirit of Africa, the African Africa. The black sun is rising. Our black sun is rising.
Walking down the townships of Mother Africa, watching them girls swing hips down in Africa. Can you imagine me in Africa, watching girls dance in me soca makosa? It was like Chichi, Labo, and Nene. Then it was Fruity, Ngozi, Amina, and Nana. Then I met this fine girl down in Africa. She was busy dancing me soca makosa. She told me to come home and meet she mama. She fed me with plantain and plenty amala. Then she told me, squeeze me, kiss me, caress my body. It was fire, water, hot, and plenty pressure. The woman was so sweet. I can feel she body. Walking down the townships of Mother Africa, watching them girls swing hips down in Africa. Can you imagine me in Africa, watching girls dancing soca makosa in Lagos, Harare, Joburg, and Entebbe. In Accra, Kigali, Addis,
right at Nairobi, where we are. All right, that's African Township by Swagger D Don, just one of the 8 tracks that you can actually expect on his album. And Don, I have just mentioned you've got 8 tracks on this particular album. First of all, what is this entire album about, like the theme around it? Is there anything in particular?
No, the theme is the African Avatar, which is music in different genres.
Okay.
So giving snippets of all our genres of music merging, from the diaspora to the continent. So it's a bit of soca and makossa, a bit of makossa and reggae, a bit of Afro-pop, Afro-beat, all the snippets of what we consider African music. Yeah.
So, big question, which is probably what everybody has on their mind. Where you from? Where you going? What are you doing in Nairobi?
Right. Caribbean and Nigeria are my 2 bases at the moment. In Nairobi, I'm working a little bit with PLO Lumumba and his foundation on youths and promoting and mentoring youths. So that's one of the things that I'm doing. And then I'm looking at collaboration with Kenyan and East African artists so that we can start uniting the music. We talked about unity before, so looking at singing some things in Swahili,
or at
least bits of Swahili, Genge music.
You're going to get into Genge.
Oh, yeah.
That I have to hear.
Yes.
But who do you ideally have your eyes on in Kenya? Who do you think we could probably be seeing you collaborating with?
There's 2 artists that I'm already now seeking out. One is Soti Soul.
Wow.
Yeah, and the other one is Wyre, W-Y-R-E. So I'm looking at there because there's a little bit of the Caribbean influence there,
Especially with Wyre.
Especially with Wyre,
The love child.
Yes, so I'm looking at doing some things with them because productive-wise, there is what I call an integrated synergy musically. Yeah.
So are you heading back to Nigeria very soon?
Yes,
or the
in the morning.
Tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning, yeah.
You're off to Nigeria?
Yeah. Tomorrow morning, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock is my flight. And but I'll be back.
Okay. All right. So as we wind up, you are very passionate about obviously not just trying to reach out to the youths, but you also want your message to go to the leadership across the continent.
Yes.
What is it that you actually want to tell the African Union and the presidents of all nations seated together?
Yeah. Change the leadership. Put somebody like PLO Lumumba, Arikana, from Zimbabwe, people like that, who are in touch with the youths and who are doing something for the continent.
Right.
I would like to see that happen. Let them put the right people in the right place to do what is necessary for the continent. We don't have time. Everybody is misusing the continent, trying to take all the resources of the continent, and we need leadership who will not sell out the continent and the youths, because the youth is the future of the continent. If 70% of the continent is youths, we have to safeguard their future. Yes.
Absolutely. All right, so how can people access your music in the event? Obviously, they probably want to just listen to it or at least buy it online.
It's on all the social media, from Apple Music to Spotify, etc. And Ezekiel or Yango here, he and his team will be responsible for promoting, managing, branding, sponsorship for the African Avatar and Swagger Don. Yes.
Well, we want to wish you all the best and thank you so much for taking time to be with us.
Thank you.
Blessings and have a safe trip back to Nigeria. Swagger D Don with us this morning. And remember, of course, you can catch him on all his social media platforms in case you really do want to get more of his music. He's got that 8-track album out. And of course, African Township, his mega track that he is promoting at this particular time. So stick with us because it doesn't end here. K24 This Morning continues with Money and Finance up next with Paul Ngalambuvi.
Arises in Mother Africa. Arise, Swagger Don, the spirit of Africa, the African black sun is rising. Our black sun is rising.
Walking down the townships of Mother Africa, watching them girls swing hips down in Africa. Can you imagine me in Africa, watching girls dancing me soca makosa? It was Lagi, Chichi, Labo, and Nene. Then it was Fruity, Ngozi, Amina, and Nana. Then I met this fine girl down in Africa. She was busy dancing me soca makosa. She told me to come home and meet she mama. She fed me with plantain and plenty amala. Then she told me, squeeze me, kiss me, caress my body. It was fire, water, hot, and plenty pressure. The woman was so sweet, I can feel she body. Walking down the townships of Mother Africa, hey. Watching them girls swing hips down in Africa. Can you imagine me in Africa, watching girls dancing soca makosa in Lagos, Harare, Jobo, and Entebbe. In Accra, Kigali, Addis, and Nairobi. They dance in the new beat down in Africa. Everybody dancing soca makosa. Chipping down the townships down in Africa. All I'm gonna want is soca makosa.